I'm Dennis, the above ground pool installation pro from Arizona. I'm going to talk you through the basic installation steps we take in our pool installs. These would be the basic steps for a round pool. The photos bounce around from different jobs we have done to best illustrate each step. We start by removing any vegetation. I have the center marked with a screwdriver in the ground. This spot will remain here until the bottom rails are perfectly round. After the vegetation is cleared, I start using the laser level. I want the ground to be well within an inch of being level. When the leveling is done, I give the ground one final smoothing before laying out the bottom rails. This is me connecting the bottom rails into the foot plates. Notice the space between the rails. Always check the instructions to see if they specify the gap needed for your pool. At each connection I use a tape measure to set the radius of the pool. I want the rails to be perfectly round when I am finished. The two most important things about above ground pools: make them perfectly round and perfectly level. So to make it perfectly level, I level each foot plate and the dirt under each rail. With the rails in place and level, I spread out some vegetation killer. Now it's time to bring in the sand. We do this one wheelbarrow at a time and form a circle of piles several feet away from the bottom rails. This will get spread out after the wall is up. Usually at about this point, I want to get some sunlight on the liner, so we find a place where we can open it up, either a grass lawn, a driveway, someplace where we can get some sun. At this point, I also want all the pool parts passed out before starting the wall installation. These parts get installed as the wall is being unrolled. This is me starting to unroll the sidewall, and notice where I start the wall, in the center of a foot plate. With any kind of luck, this is where you will end up. If not, take the wall out and reset the rail gap. You want the gap to be uniform at each foot plate and the pool to remain round. Here we are installing the uprights and top rails as the pool wall is being unrolled, never leaving too much wall exposed to the wind. With the wall in place and the pool frame built, we start spreading the sand. We spread the sand with shovels, and then I smooth it with first a rake and then a large push broom. I want the sand looking something like this. This pool is ready for a liner. With the sand smooth, the rest is done from outside the pool. We ease the liner into the pool and pull it up and over the pool framework. How far you pull it up depends on the liner. You want the bottom flat and smooth before starting the water. Some liners require the center to be just off the ground, others not so much. The important things here are to pull the liner up a little at a time at each upright and watch the bottom seam. Keep that seam even as it gets close to the top. As the water fills, you let the liner down a little at a time at each upright, several times, until the water is near the edge, a few inches away from the edge. That's about the time I would shut the hose off. The pool then gets taken apart a few rails at a time, and I fold the excess liner back into the pool and set it with clothespins. The coping and retaining rods are installed at this point. In most cases, the rods and post caps will hold the wall stable without the top rails. As my crew is finishing the top rails, I am usually installing the skimmer and the pool return. The finished pool will look like this, filling with water with a wrinkle-free liner and a smooth bottom. Learn everything you ever wanted to know about above ground pools in the pool section at shadebuilder.com.